Good morning. It's Sunday. I don't know, we have like a chill day. We're gonna go to Antonio's parents' house and have lunch. And we're picking up 20 empanadas for everyone. And tomorrow is his grandmother's birthday, so we're gonna go to a nursery and pick out an orchid for her. Yeah, I don't know. I look cute. Aww. Oh, Antonio's putting air in my tire. And I had the pump plugged in. Thank you. One of my tires just has a slow leak. It's the same tire, like my front right tire. I had 3 nails in it over like a couple months, and I ended up just getting all new tires, and then everything was good for a little bit, and I think there's probably like a small puncture in it or something, because that front right tire, like we have to fill it up every couple weeks because it goes low or the light comes on or whatever. You know, some cars just have weird luck. Like this car has been the tires. My last car, I don't know, what was wrong with my last car? The windscreen would crack. The windscreen on this car cracked too, and we had it fixed recently, but thankfully it wasn't causing more problems. Like, sorry, I thought I saw another crack. Because the last car was like, the windscreen rattled after it got changed and it never went away.
The sensors were all messed up.
I don't know, cars. I feel like there's a prophecy though that when my windscreen cracks, I get a new car, but I don't know, I still have this one. So yeah, we're gonna go pick up the empanadas, and then we're gonna go to the, where are we going? Oh yeah, the nursery to get an orchid. Look at him.
Hello.
Oh, he looks so cute. I like how your curls came out today. Curly hair. Goals.
I want so much of this. I love this rock.
Antonio's favorite rock. We have to say hi. Coconuts. They've made it like a little market here. I want to see if there's any cats. Sometimes there's cats. Yeah, I think they've tried to like make this place more like a third space kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, look what they've done here.
All right, let's find an orchid. I'm thinking like one of these for her. Like, look at that. I've never seen that.
No, but I'm just so interested. I've never seen something like this.
I'll kill it.
Yeah, I did.
This, the purple one right here.
Wait,
She doesn't have.
Second.
The purple and white.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
Oh yeah, that one's really cool.
I think she's talking about this one.
That's heavy in the flower.
A few moments later.
So, we made the mistake of showing Antonio's mom a lot of the orchids to see like what we should get, and we ended up spending like $200. We'll probably end up with one of these. I'm just like so scared to kill them, like especially these floating like orchids that aren't in like a pot. I'm not skilled enough for
I'm
that.
afraid of this thing.
That's like a whole alien. That one's really pretty. It's really cute. And I have this one. It looks like eggs. There's some regular orchids for the gift, and these. I have one of these, and it's alive. That's like the most complicated orchid I have. But these like hanging ones, I think they're called Vandas. Absolutely not. We're making some serious moves in this house. You know, it takes time to work on things. It's a slow process. I've been working since we've transformed our house, basically by just removing a lot. We've actually been adding to it or replacing to kind of like make it more intentional. We've been like tackling areas that we felt just didn't work for us anymore, both in functionality and aesthetics. You saw the fish tank corner that I worked on, and how before I had this shelf full of stuff there. All of that fits in the little stand I got rid of the rest. I had baskets under my vanities. It was just like I had to dig through them to get what I needed. And it's not like I had a lot of stuff under them. It was just like not optimized, I guess. We bought some little of like those plastic drawers for under both our vanities and under our kitchen sink to get rid of piles essentially and make everything more intentional. Honestly, like I don't know where everything is yet, but everything's been super easy. I don't have to dig. Everything is right there. We're trying to be more intentional with our storage. We've already gotten rid of a lot, but now we're at the point where it's like, it has to be usable. Today, what we're tackling is kind of applying that same mindset. Yeah, the door closes, everything's stacked in there, but it's still like kind of a Tetris. You gotta go behind stuff to get to things, and I don't know where anything is. Like nothing has a real home yet. And this has been something that we've talked about for a long time. You know, we're very crafty, very DIY. We have a lot of tools, especially for people who live in like a little apartment. We literally have a table saw. It's all things we inherently use and need. So it's kind of just like, how do we fit this all in one closet without it being a pile? Okay, right now we're in the chaos before the storm. And Antonio is taking everything out and then it's all gonna go back in. It's kind of just a generic closet. It has these wire shelves in it. Just generic closet, I guess. Our issue with that is we can't fit any of our tall stuff, like our vacuum, our level, what else is tall? The ladder. None of that fits because the shelf is in the way. So we're like, okay, we're gonna completely remove the bottom one. We put a drawer in there. That's gonna give us more space, like put stuff away in. We put this drawer in here that used to be in the back, and then we're gonna put all our tall stuff here. And we do have more of these IKEA shelves that we can probably put on the sides. I don't know. It's not awful, but like I said, it's Tetrised in, and you have to like move around to get to what you actually need a lot of the time. We're trying to make it a little less piled in there. Our mantra for all this has been like, get rid of piles.
No more piles.
No more piles. We're having homes for everything in 2026. This is the closet now. We really only touched the bottom part. Way better, way more accessible. We're gonna 3D print a mount for our Bissell because we don't have one, and then put her here. But right now, sorry, that's not Bissell, Dyson. And this is everything we're getting rid of. So pretty good. Pretty good, especially for a closet we went through like what? Yeah, we went through it a couple months ago, and that's already what we're getting rid of since the last time. We're back to the closet. We printed these 2 pieces. Rest when I tell you, it was so hard to find something that holds the vacuum on the wall that wasn't a ginormous piece or like some over-engineered like thing. Like this, literally you just slide the handle on top of it. And then this piece is actually like a double-sided holder for the accessories, and this is the first time I'm using it, so I'm happy it just like fit like that. We're gonna mount these 2 on the wall. You see they have little screw holes, and finally finish up our closet for now. And it's been like maybe 2 weeks now since we've done this closet. It actually is like a lot easier to use and kind of access everything. We're not used to where everything is yet, but proof of concept, so far so good. So yeah, we're gonna install these 2 mounts. I need Antonio for that. We're still figuring out where exactly to put them. Oh, we're putting that whole thing on there?
I mean, that's the
I
point,
guess we
right?
can do either, yeah.
Alright, so how about...
Okay, but I think we should do this part first because it's super big. It literally just holds like that. So this is pretty easy to grab. I'm doing it really goofy because I don't want to be in the way of the camera. And then we have this. Ooh, crazy. Look at that. Okay. Okay. Antonio cooked. We went really hard in the beginning of this year and end of last year, getting rid of things, listing things for sale, and donating. And I've probably spoken about it a little bit before. We probably got rid of 70% of what we own. One area that we worked on a long time ago, but we worked on at a time when we still had a lot of stuff, was our living room. And we actually really liked our living room for a long time. Like that was like the most perfect part of our house. We've evolved, we've changed, the house has changed, the house has evolved. So now it doesn't feel as perfect as it once did. Looking at it now, it doesn't have much at the moment, but where I'm at in this journey with things, I feel like it is kind of busy and, dare I say, cluttered. The biggest thing in this journey that I've learned is actually to make things work for you exactly how you need them to work for you. So if something is not the easiest way to do something that you have to do every day or frequently at least, or even not frequently, just in general, like I don't want things that I have to spend time working around. That's kind of like been a new perspective that I've brought into my life during this journey. For example, our tool closet, that's the easiest one to talk about. We don't have to dig for tools. It just doesn't work. Like, why live around that? And I can apply that to my closet, to my shoes. I don't want to have to be living around anything. And I think that's the whole point. So here is our living room wall. I do still like it. It's just too active for how peaceful our lives are shifting at the moment. We are replacing this shelf. Hopefully, maybe. It depends if we like whatever is in this box or not. Because long story short, this one was affordable and the one we wanted was $400, which I think is a little too much to be spending on one shelf. And not even knowing if I really want a shelf there anymore. Right now we just have new TV console, redesigned it a little bit since you've last seen it. The current shelf is some DIY shelf we made at this point like 4 years ago. So it's cute, it served its purpose, but now we're going more for darker tones. I got a darker shelf and it's shorter too. Like look how long it is right now. Apparently there's like a whole like equation to your TV size and the shelf size you want to put above it. We got a 66-inch shelf, which is apparently what works best with 65-inch TVs. Also, I found out you measure TVs diagonally. So even though it's 65 inches, it's not actually 65 inches that way. It's that way. I'm probably just gonna place it on top of the current shelf to see like if it makes sense. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, here's test number 1. Maybe if I take off the end brackets, we can see it better.
Okay.
It looks a little short, but we're used to having this giant thing. It's just spinning. Oh, they're wing nuts. How do I take those off?
Keep spinning while pulling.
Okay. Did you hear it? I feel like it's too small. Is our TV maybe like a 75-inch? Wait, let me measure this. Do you go from the corner? What's 49 plus 18? 70? 67? Maybe our little paintings are throwing it off. Not loving it. batteries, and some smart plugs. We're gonna like run it along this shelf and then through the wall, like poke a hole in the wall, run it in the wall, and then it's gonna come out and then run along the bottom console, like behind the TV console. We have enough. Okay, here's Miss Shelf. She's actually really cute, and I'm happy with the shorter shelf actually, because like it's a lot more minimalist, you know? I had 2 vases and 2 more plants up there, which I didn't put back. I added those 2 books up there, like right here, for a little, you know, change, some like height, and I think it looks really good. Hair unbrushed, face unwashed, teeth unbrushed. Ew. It's 10 a.m. We're going to build some furniture. Yay! Oh my gosh, my favorite thing to do. Antonio sold our old entrance table. Now that that's gone, I got a new one that is a lot bigger, a lot more sleek. Yeah, so I'm gonna build that, and then we're gonna decorate our little entrance table area. So here we have all of our pieces. I don't know, let me get, like, at least brush my hair. Let me do some things, and then we're gonna get to building. I need you for this. Look at this step. It's like crazy, and you have to like turn stuff.
What the heck? Okay, yeah, I'll come up here.
This thing is ginormous. Look how big it is. It's 70 inches long. Like this piece here is 90 inches, and it's really tall, but we need to see it in the room. But I do think it looks big here, but it'll bring a lot of personality to the room we're putting it in. I need Antonio's help for that. Okay, definitely does not look as big when it's in here. I already got 2 things for it, so let me bring those out. Number 1 is this basket. It has our shoes in it. We used to have the shoe rack under here. It's the second thing I got. I was afraid this might be a little too farmhouse. I was thinking like just right here. Right? Not the price, just right front and center. We'll take that off if we end up keeping it. Because I feel like with these fake branches, they look really bad unless you're like doing it right. Like I feel like the plants need to like point towards the light to look real. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with here, but I do kind of have an idea. The first thing is I want to elevate this little section here with the lamp on the books, right? And like the tray down there. And then we don't need to put like fill this up. It's, you know what I mean? Like it's perfectly fine as is. I do want to lift the mirror up because I think it feels a little low. But maybe not. I do want to go to Target and get 2 wall sconces. Like one for here, like the battery powered ones. What do we think? What do we think? Actually, on camera, it looks really good. Oh, and then also the basket. What do we think about the basket? I like it. It's fine. Let me like lay out the runner so we can get the whole vision. I had lunch, I showered, washed Maggie. I thought about it, you know, during all that. I sent pictures of how it looks currently to some friends and family for their opinions. And ultimately, we've decided not to do the sconces. You know, less is more, right? And that's like kind of this whole thing I've been kind of trying to learn through this whole process of like restyling my house and minimizing and getting rid of things to embody the less is more, because your girl had no chill before. Okay, not no chill, but I definitely had way too much stuff before. I always felt like, oh, more. Like everything was very intentional, but it was always just like too much. You get that inkling to want to like fill the space, but you don't have to. Because inherently it's something I have to charge, something I have to dust. My nose is so, like, I'm gonna sneeze, hold up. They cut the grass in the community. Whenever that happens, I'm like, ugh. For a few days, especially when it starts raining. We kind of did a lot. We just did like the living room and the hallway. Yeah, we've been like replacing a lot of our furniture to make it, like I said before, more to work better with the way our lives work. Now that we know, like we have routines and our routines have needs, it's nice to have furniture that works with our routines and works with our new mindsets versus having to work around pieces. And that's not just with the furniture, that's with everything here. So this has been like basically an 8-month journey at this point of us changing the furniture around in our house. It started with the bedside tables, and I got those on New Year's like evenings. I remember we were trying to rush build them before our friends came over. It takes time to kind of like find what works for you. So it's not something you can just like go do all at once. Like it takes time to kind of build. There's like the benefit to that where like we're changing. Where we started it is not where we are today. So if we made all those decisions when we were like still really new into the process, it wouldn't have served us as well as like decisions that we're making today as we've like learned and grown. Because before it was just like we have a lot of stuff and like we need places to put our stuff and we need to like work around our stuff. But now since we've like gotten rid of so much and really opened up the space for us, for our stuff to work around us, not us work around our stuff. Yeah, it's been about a year that we've been doing that. I don't have my contacts in, so I'm like kind of doing my makeup blind. Hold up. Okay, I look fine. I look blended. This whole process has been really rewarding. Like you make a big change and at first you don't like it, right? So changing the shelf above the TV, it took us a minute to understand it because we were so used to having this ginormous shelf above our TV. You know, we feel how rewarding it is to have our space transformed like that, and we feel how our new like way of doing things is becoming our reality. When we put up the shelf, we stayed up until like 2 a.m. just like basking in the energy, I guess, that the room like transformed into. Adding the shelf and adding the lights, it became that cozy, vibey living room that we've always been searching for. It's not like there weren't times where our old ways did serve us and did give us those feelings. It's just like we've changed, and therefore our space has to change to like, you know, reflect where we are today. The biggest like motivator, I guess, in this whole journey too, and the biggest thing that like helps us, I guess, break our old ways of doing things and our old mindsets. You can always change your truths, right? Rules you set or were set for you by like your family or your community growing up are not rules you have to follow for the rest of your life. Maybe they work for you at one point in your life, or they work for the people you were around growing up or the communities you were around growing up, but that doesn't mean they're truth. As you change in life, your truths change. That's what I feel like a lot of this has been reflecting for Antonio and I, is like kind of making our own truths, like making our own ways of living, right? That reflect us and not what we're used to, I guess. And it's nothing like controversial. It's different. I guess making life work for you, being able to let go of old mindsets that don't serve you anymore or don't reflect where you are today. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm almost on my makeup though. I actually talked and did my makeup for once. Yeah, this whole thing has been super, super rewarding. And that's like, really, I know I keep repeating it, but that's truly like the point. We just sit and bask in our efforts and in the change we've made. And it hasn't just been furniture. Like, we renovated parts of our house that didn't fit with like where we're at. You know, not that we didn't like them. Like, we had this 80s bar in our house that we got rid of, and we had a giant mirror wall. It's been a process. It really has been. It felt good. Like it's felt very rewarding. It definitely was not easy, and it continues not to be easy. Like, it gets easier. It's definitely still a lot of work and a lot of internal work, right? I think the biggest thing is like, you can like something, but you don't need to live with it. And I think that's been like the biggest thing. Like, we like this 80s Miami Vice vibe to our house, but we don't have to live with it. So we changed it. I just noticed my curtain is falling out of the wall. Next video, I'm gonna be putting up new curtains this side. The bedroom needs work. It needs work. I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. Oh my god, I think the whole thing's off the wall. Oh my gosh. Okay, that I need to fix. Yeah, this has been 8 months now of the furniture, not the decluttering. The decluttering has been a year, but 8 months of changing our furniture and renovating our house to make it better for us. I'm really happy with it, and that's good, right? Because I get a lot of remorse when I do a lot of things, but I actually truly have been happy with everything and not, I mean, there's definitely a lot of second guessing. Once I settle in, I'm like, there's no more second guessing. Thanks for sticking around and listening to me yap, and I guess following this journey if you care. But yeah, have a nice rest of your day, or evening if it's evening, and I guess I'll see you on the next one.